guys, it's me, Kpop Dreams, and this video is just gonna be on me like ranting about photo card collection problems in the K-pop community, like problems within the community and stuff like that, because oh boy, there's a lot of problems, honestly, and I probably even missed a few, but I think I did mention the majority, so this video is already gonna be a mess, but I really hope you guys enjoy it, so let's just get going. So firstly, photo card collecting is fun, and it should be fun. There's a lot of pressure, such as seeing each other's collections and feeling that, that jealousy. Seeing people getting a lot of mail, like in one day, can make a collector upset, or even ashamed of themselves and their collection and their own lives. Like I said, collecting your favorites should be fun. The pressures aren't even from the collector, it's kind of just from the atmosphere. And the pressure, we could also blame on the companies, too, because, let's say a group has multiple inclusions in the new album. Let's take NCT Resonance, for example. Those, the silver cards that were in the part 1, the ones that had, 500 made for, all 23 members. That puts pressure on the people that collect, all the album inclusions, and if they want to collect that specific card. Since that card, it goes for $200+ because it is rare. And, maybe that collector just sees someone with the card, but they're overpricing it, which overpricing is the next part. Then that can cause jealousy of that the person pulled the card out of their album, etc., etc. My experience, well, I'm not a fast collector. I usually buy, I would say, a few cards every week. I can admit I do feel pressure collecting photo cards, every day almost, I would say. I think the K-pop community needs to change. Not the people itself, just, like I said, the atmosphere. And everyone should be able to collect however they want, what speed they want, and just whatever they want to do, they should be able to do it without having that pressure of the jealousy and all that. And I'm not blaming the collectors that want to show off their collection because they're proud of it. Be proud of your collection. I'm not blaming anyone. I can admit this also, but I have felt very bad and ashamed of my own collection. Just be happy with however speed you want to collect and all that. Overpricing sucks. We all know that. What is there to say? It's the seller's way of either saying, hey, I'm not sure if I'm pricing this right, please tell me if I am or if I'm not or if it's too high, or literally just saying, off. This is a business to me, not a hobby. I'm not wanting to be rude, but overpricing is rude to the potential buyers that may be looking for this card. My experience with this major issue, this is one of the top issues in the K-pop photo card collecting community. It's very annoying whenever I see a card on my wish list and the seller is overpricing it by a lot. Now I want to say a couple dollars is not the worst. I mean a $10 difference, that's a little much. But whenever I sell a card or inclusion, I personally try my best to keep my prices fair for both me and the buyer, so the buyer's getting a good deal, and I'm selling the item to someone that wants it for their collection. Photo card collecting, it's a hobby. It's not a business. Sometimes, they write the excuse, that's how much I paid for the item on their post to not get hate. You're the one who bought the item for that price. You could have just not bought the item, but you did. And not the buyer. The buyer didn't buy it, you bought it. So why should the buyer have to pay that high of a price just because that was your choice and you did it and now you don't want the item anymore? Like I've said, I'm not trying to be rude, but it's so aggravating, to say the least. And I'm sure you guys can agree mostly. But I'll mention this again, there is accidental overpricing. Let me take a classic example. You've probably seen someone, maybe your grandma, maybe your aunt, maybe your mom, looked in the attic and she found a bin of Beanie Babies. And they're trying to sell it for thousands because they were misled by a website. That is accidental mistake, and that is accidental overpricing. And while you enjoy me ranting, why not hit that like button and subscribe to my channel? I do appreciate the support. And now let's go back to me ranting. Member pricing is just as bad as overpricing. Actually, I'm going to take that back. It's worse than overpricing, because at least with overpricing, you're overpricing all the members equally. As with member pricing, you're doing it very unequally. Like here, I'll give you an example. You go look at a BTS sale post, and you see Jungkook being on sale for like, let's say $30, and Jin is $20. If the cards are from the same album, and there is no damage on Jin's card, that is member pricing. Seller is basically saying that Jungkook is quote unquote more valuable than Jin just on the sole basis that he is a more popular member. Let me say something. Just because a member is more popular does not make them rarer than any other member. I had to get that off my chest. I am sorry. Now, if the Jin card is badly damaged, and that's why he's a lower price, that is not member pricing. That's just lowering the cost because the card is damaged, and that is more understandable than just pricing Jungkook higher because he's more popular. So why is member pricing so horrible? Well, multiple reasons. Firstly, selling a certain member, let's take Taeyoung from NCT for example. Selling his card for higher can make a potential buyer discouraged from buying a seller that member prices. Since if they bought the card, like I said, they will be supporting that seller. Two, they're basically scamming themselves out of money that they could have spent on something else simply because of that seller's greed. And three, it can make the buyer upset that perhaps they can't afford the card because simply it's at a high price and they're not wanting to pay for that price. Secondly, what if that member of that group, the member that is priced lower, sees that post and sees that they're lower? I know that's a rare chance, but that can affect their mental health. And I gotta say, idols go through so much already. They don't need more reasons to be depressed. Like, they go through too much already. My experience with member pricing, well, I hate to admit it, but I have bought from someone who does member pricing. I am not going to mention them or say their name because I don't want them to get hate. I don't really have first-hand experience with buying or passing on a card simply because the member pricing, as the members that I collect aren't like the top popularity on the group. Some are like the third most popular or even second most, but the members that I collect don't usually get member priced. The only example I can think about is RM being priced lower than like Jungkook. I do know that for collectors that, collect members like Jungkook, Taeyoung, and IM, it can be rather annoying to see a card that you need in your collection being priced higher just because the member is more popular. And it just can be discouraging for those collectors that collect those more popular members because they're going to have to deal with higher prices, and that in itself is just stupid. Fake cards are self-explanatory, really. They're just fake. They're not official. Fake cards can be annoying to the buyer, obviously, since they wasted their money on a fake card. And honestly, I don't have any experience with fake cards, fortunately, so I'm not much help with this section. Scammers are never fun, and they exist basically everywhere, sadly. There is both trade and sale scammers, and they both suck. To try your best to avoid scammers, I recommend asking the seller or trader or whatever for sale and or trade proofs. Most people with proofs are reliable. Not all, though. Some people make their own proofs to make them seem reliable, and yeah, it's just a chaotic mess. If you want to take an extra step, you can ask people that their proofs are from if they've bought from the person and ask for their experience, and you can also ask your friends if they've bought and or traded with them. If you're paying with PayPal, and if they allow it, please pay with goods and services. The fee's only it's usually less than $1. If you're buying a lot, it might be $5, but it's good because it gives you buyer protection unlike friends and family. So yeah, let me talk about my experience with this scamming thing. It wasn't entirely scamming, but I feel like it was. So I'm going to tell you guys my experience. So, I don't know how long ago this was, but it was some months ago. A while ago, I drove over an hour to pick up this signed Jimin photo frame. $25, which, yeah, I know that sounds stupid. Why did you think it was real when it was $25? I don't know. And obviously, I found out that it was fake some months later. But the part of that is scamming is that they literally said that they met Jimin and that he signed it and they chatted. So that in itself was lying, and that is why I was scamming. I got scammed out of $25 that I could have spent on some very, very cards or Monster X card. I could have bought like multiple Jimin cards with that. But yeah. So yeah, that was a bad experience. That was like my worst experience so far in the K-pop community, at least like buying wise. If you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoyed me ranting and all that stuff, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Share to your friends if they want to learn about the K-pop community, like the photo card collecting part. I guess I'll see you later.